So in this video, I'll explain the new updates from the College Board as far as how testing at home is going to work for the AP exam this year. So they utilized survey data from students. They gave students different weeks that they preferred to have the exam be given. They even gave teachers surveys to see whenever the best times would be to give students exams. And overwhelmingly, it was some of the first weeks in May. And I imagine this would be the most preferable for students because you're still in school, or virtual learning. School is still in session, and I think the longer we start putting it off, the less fresh it is in our mind, and so I wasn't surprised. I think that is a good thing for us too. You'll see that the dates on the screen, May 11th through May 22nd, that is the weeks that exams will be given. Each class has a specific time and day. The June 1st through 5th testing dates are only for late exams, so if there's an emergency, something happens on the test day, and for some reason you aren't able to take it, you would need to notify Mrs. Robinson, and she would send in an application for you to take the late exam. Any kind of modifications, if you are someone that applied for modifications on the exam or any kind of special services, those will still be incorporated. The modifications that you were going to receive prior to the school closure, you will still receive those same accommodations, is what they have told us so far. As far as the AP exam schedule goes as a whole, this is a chart that shows you every class, every day, and every time. So every student will be taking AP Psychology at the same time on the same day. So we are in the Central Time Zone, so we'll be taking the AP exam on May 19th, Tuesday, May 19th at 1 o'clock. And if you want to pause this and look at some of your other classes at what time and what day you're taking it, you can. Okay, so while you are taking the exam, there will be some parameters. So you are taking it at home, but it has a 45-minute time frame. So at 1 o'clock, your 45 minutes will start. So you'll need to make sure that you are ready, you've got your space set up before 1 o'clock so that you can sit down and you don't have to be stressed and you can start your exam. We don't know yet exactly what the platform is that they're going to be pushing this exam out onto, but they will let us know that soon. We do know that you can take it on any device that has internet access. So a phone, a tablet, a computer, anything that can access the internet, you will be able to access this testing platform. However, if you prefer to handwrite, they are allowing you to handwrite. All you have to do is take a picture with your phone or any device, and you will upload it with that device. And so whatever device you're opening the platform on, that should be where you are submitting your information on. So if you do decide to handwrite, they are going to give us some practice exams where they'll push it out on a platform so we could see what it's like to take it on their site and then submit it through picture or submit it through typing, and so they'll let us practice what it's like to do it, like a mock exam. We don't have that platform yet, but they will send that out. They said by the end of April. So we should be able to actually be practicing it on their platform before we take it. So you'll be able to kind of practice what that's like. As far as the structure for AP Psych, you will have 2 questions in 45 minutes. So we've practiced in class doing 1 question in 25 minutes so that you could pace yourself for a 50-minute time frame for 2 free responses, but for this one, it is a 45-minute time frame for 2 questions. So they will give you 25 minutes for the first question. You'll have a little timer on your screen, so it will be timing it for you. They will let you remove that timer if you don't like it. I don't necessarily suggest that just because you would hate to run out of time. So you will have a little timer on your screen that will be letting you know how much time you have left. So in that 25 minutes, that first question will be about concept application. This is what we've been doing all year. You'll have a prompt, and then you'll have to apply things back to this real world situation. So they described this as students should be able to explain behaviors and theories and perspectives in authentic context. So this is something that you should be more familiar with, taking some kind of concept and applying it to some real world prompt. This will be 55% of the exam score's weight. The second question is 15 minutes, and 15 minutes is short. 15 minutes will go by very fast. This particular question has 45% of the weight of the exam, and this particular free response is going to be focused on research methods. They describe this as saying students should be able to analyze psychological research studies, including analyzing and interpreting quantitative data. So this could be like looking at a graph of data, and they might give you a description of some kind of research that was conducted and then ask you questions about that, maybe that graph or chart, or ask you questions about that research study. And they might even throw in some concepts from other units as well. They will give you 5 minutes to upload each question or each response. So after the first 25-minute free response, when the 25 minutes is up, you will have 5 minutes to upload that response. And then when you start the second free response, you'll have that 15 minutes to write, and then you'll have the additional 5 minutes to upload. So this is an example from a past AP exam of what a concept application free response would look like. This should be really familiar to you. If you want to pause it and read through this, I would suggest reading through the prompt, thinking about how you would answer it, maybe even going through and thinking about the different terms and what different units they fall under, so you could kind of see how they are drawing on many different units throughout the year. Here's an example of a research methods free response. You'd get this scenario at the top that's about some kind of study. It says a psychologist conducted a study at her home during an annual activity of children wearing masks and going door to door receiving candy. I've talked to you about this free response before, how this is about this psychologist who is studying Halloween, but they're not using Halloween as a term just because they don't want to have that testing bias. So she's describing kids taking candy. And so you can go through and read this. If you want, go ahead and pause it, read through it, look at the different parts, think about how you might answer it. But this would be what a possible research methods for your response would be. It's focused on data. It's having you answer in response to some kind of experiment or survey, and wanting you to draw on some of those concepts of experimental design and research. Here's another example of what the first free response might be, a content application free response. Jackie has been chosen for the lead role in the school play. She is both nervous and excited about this opportunity. Explain how the following concepts might help her performance in the play. And so it gives you 4 concepts. Then explain how each of the following concepts may hinder her performance in the play. And then you can see there's 3 more concepts. And so this would be possibly what the first free response might be like, where you're taking concepts and applying them to a some kind of situation. Now, I will say they have made it clear that they're trying to really draw on skills. And so this might be a little bit more simple than what they are going to ask you to do, because they have made it clear that it's not something that you could just easily like Google search. And so this could be a little bit more simplistic, but this would be an example of concept application where you're given a concept and you need to apply it into some real world situations. Here's an example of what a research methods free response would be like, what the second question might be like. So here's another one. It says a survey was conducted to determine the state of the physical and psychological health of high school students. So in part A, it has this chart where you can see they're looking for a correlation between stress levels and the number of absences. So you can kind of see the little dots are moving upward. And so we can see on here there is a positive correlation between the number of absences and student stress level. And so you'd look at that and then you'd go through and answer the questions that follow. So this would be kind of what a research methods free response might look like. So here, this section is about exam security. Because this is something you're taking at home and you're able to use devices, it is just going to be different. They have called it open book, open note. So you can use resources on the exam. However, you do not have tons of time. They do realize you can use anything to help you, but they are not okay with you contacting people to help you or using other people to help you with this. So you cannot be in contact with other students and you cannot be in contact with other people while you are taking the exam. You can use textbooks, you can use resources that we've given in class, you can look things up, but they've said that this is not the type of thing that you can just regurgitate from online or from the questions are going to be styled where they're asking you things that you will need to be able to use, draw on things, on examples, and not just something that you can regurgitate. So they are using software that can identify you and who you are. They are using software to identify if your exam responses matches other student exam responses, and so they are making sure that they can tell whether you are in contact with other students. If they do mark or pick up any of these tendencies that might signal that you are plagiarizing, they will contact universities that you are interested in. They will contact the potential colleges that you have marked that you are wanting your scores to be sent to, and they will let those universities know that you were marked for plagiarism. So you do not want that to happen. As far as scores and credits go, we will be given your free responses. Those will be sent to us, so we'll get to see your responses by May 26th, but we will not know your scores until about July. So those will come out a little bit later. They are assuring us that colleges are still awarding students credit, so you will still get credit for your exam, even though it is being carried out in a different way. Universities are still accepting it as transfer credit. Here are some things to keep in mind. I'm going to just kind of breeze through this, but I would like for you to pause and make sure that you go through and you read each of these different things. So as far as SOTAs, if you're typing, you want to make sure that you still bring emphasis to a term or concept. Maybe you capitalize that term or concept rather than we would put a bullet point and underline. Before you take your test, you want to make sure you have if you're going to use resources, that you simplify them, that you have just what you need, have it ready and organized so you can go through it really quickly. You will not have time to look everything up. You just will not. There is not enough time. And so you want to have just a little bit of maybe a pile of resources that you have organized and you have set up that you can easily see some things that you need to go and look for, but you'll need to go through and answer everything you know first before looking anything up. It's going to waste time. So you'll need to go through and answer everything, and if you're going to go look something up, you're going to do that at the end. Make sure a day before the exam you have your space set up, that you're in a place where you can focus, that you have good lighting, that you're comfortable, that you're sitting upright, you have your notes organized. You've just got everything ready for you before the day actually is there. You'll need to make sure that you are able to get up before the exam. It is at 1 o'clock, but I know some of you guys sleep in late, so you should be setting an alarm a few days before the exam so that you know what it's like to wake up before 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and so you aren't sleeping through an alarm. Make sure you have a snack and you have water, and that you've notified your family so they know not to distract you. And so just kind of be prepared in the days to come for what your testing plan is going to be. The College Board has given us access to review resources, and I will also be assigning some of those things to you soon, and I'll be making those things available to you. They are going to be giving us other resources. They are going to be letting us practice on their testing platform when they have that prepared and ready, and I'll make sure that you have access to that when they have sent that out to us. And then just a few last things. We have 6 weeks before the exam, so we still have lots of time. I'm going to be giving you resources and handouts and videos, but we'll have time to prepare. At the end of April, the College Board will be giving more resources to us as far as practicing testing and practicing submitting things online, so you'll be ready. But I definitely want you to reach out with questions right now that you're thinking about, that you're uncertain about, that you're still wondering, and I'll try to get back to you with answers to those questions if I have them or if I can find them. I hope this was useful, and I hope it kind of answers some of those initial questions. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I hope you have a great day.